Why has the White House caused so much frustration for successive presidents? In the United States, there is a building that politicians dream of, the White House. It is the epicenter of American power and the ultimate stage for politicians to showcase their talents. Even the pets of those who reside within its walls attract media attention. The White House is the residence and office of the U.S. President. However, despite its prestige, the White House was not always so well regarded. 200 years ago, it was far from a desirable place to live, and many presidents found themselves quite unhappy there. Why was this the case? Could it be that the White House failed to meet the expectations of those early presidents? In 1792, the first president of the United States, George Washington, decided to build a presidential residence. In June of that year, a young engineer named James Hoban requested the opportunity to design the presidential mansion. Washington agreed, but with a condition: Hoban would only be entrusted with the project if he produced a satisfactory design. 20 days later, Hoban presented his design sketches, which greatly pleased Washington, who then handed over full responsibility for the construction to Hoban. 8 years later, the presidential mansion was completed. However, it was not yet called the White House, and Washington never lived there, making him the only president who did not reside in the White House. The second president, John Adams, was luckier. He moved the capital to Washington, D.C., and in 1800, he moved into the newly completed White House, officially beginning his presidential tenure there. Upon entering the White House, Adams was taken aback by its stark appearance. The building lacked fences and courtyards, making it look bare and unattractive. Adams decided that the spacious area was still comfortable for office work and did not fuss over its appearance. However, his wife was not pleased. Without a proper yard, she couldn't even hang clothes outside to dry and had to string up a clothesline in the East Room to air dry their laundry indoors. The First Lady grew increasingly frustrated. She wrote to her daughter, complaining, "This grand presidential mansion doesn't even have a bell to summon the servants. I can't imagine how anyone can live here." Winter brought even more challenges. President Adams found the White House's simplicity unbearable. It lacked sufficient staff to gather enough firewood, and the White House was damp and cold during the winter months. Adams shivered while handling various documents, enduring great discomfort, which naturally led to his complaints. Successive presidents shared Adams's struggles. Each winter, they faced severe cold and had to chop extra firewood to keep the White House warm. Life in the early White House was far from glamorous. Presidents endured hardships while simultaneously working to improve the residence, eventually providing a more comfortable home for their successors. Indeed, they planted the trees under which later generations would find shade. In 1853, the White House was equipped with central heating, finally bringing an end to its cold winters. Over time, a library was established, and elevators and electric lights were installed, making life in the White House even more convenient. During John F. Kennedy's administration, his wife, Jacqueline Kennedy, planned to transform the White House into a museum. Exquisite furniture and artwork from across the country were brought in to adorn the residence, turning it into a palace of opulence. Over its 200-year history as the presidential residence, the White House has undergone countless renovations, ultimately becoming a revered symbol of the American home. The first families residing in the White House now embrace their responsibilities, bringing vitality and joy to the residents. It is no longer the place of frustration it once was.